My name is Mamta Sivakoti, one of the program officers of the Kathmandu Dialogue and the inaugural conference of AALP, and it is my pleasure to be your host for today's program. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks the conclusion of our event, the 10 days of summer school, the 2 days of AALP and its inaugural conference, the countless hours of preparation and the sentiment attached to it, the dream we hold for connectivity between the young minds of South Asia and their guidance, our Professor of Law. We express our deepest gratitude and extend a very warm welcome to everyone present. We appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to join us today, and we thank you for your continuous support throughout this journey. Dear all, proceeding with our ceremony, I now request you to stand in your respective seats for our national anthem. Our chief guest, Honorable Subhash Chandra Nembang, Member of Parliament and former Chairperson of the Constituent Assembly of Nepal. He apologizes for his inability to attend our program due to an emergency meeting of the Parliament, and he expresses deepest regret and has a small message for all our guests. Message in his language. I'm informed that the executive meeting as well as the summer school organized by Kathmandu School of Law has been successfully initiated. I'm proud of such an initiation that stands as a beacon of hope and connectivity for our Asian region and its intellectual audience. I wish the very best for all the future endeavors of these programs. Dear all, even though he is not present here, I request all of you to give a big round of applause for him. And along with that, we apologize for his absence. Proceeding with our ceremony, let us now welcome the chair of our closing ceremony, Professor Madhav Prasad Acharya, President of Kathmandu School of Law, Nepal. I now invite you to welcome Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangrola, President of AALP, Executive Director and Principal of Kathmandu School of Law and former Attorney General. Please give him a big round of applause for our chair. I request all our guests to please proceed towards the dais. Special guests and guests of honor for the day to their respective seats on the stage. Guest of honor, Honorable Yuvraj Dulal, Minister of Social Development, State Number 3, Nepal. The dais. Special guest, Professor Dr. Mizanur Rahman, University of Dhaka and former Chairperson of National Human Rights Commission. Dear sir. Finally, to everyone present, dear professors and delegates and students, welcome to the closing ceremony of the Kathmandu Dialogue and Asian Association of Law Professors. We will now start with our special guest speech. Professor Dr. Mizanur Rahman, I invite you to the dais. I invite you to the podium.
Very esteemed chief guest of this occasion, the Honorable Minister. I just remember the first part of your name, Minister Juboraj. The President of AALP, my dear friend, Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangrola, my family member, Geeta Pathak, esteemed professors, members of the academia, dear delegates, members of AALP, and dear delegates of the Kathmandu delegation. It's my proud privilege once again to welcome you to the closing ceremony of this initiation of the Asian Association of Law Professors. However, I would ask you to note one thing. 10:43 a.m. July 10, 2019. 10:43 a.m. When the clock over there struck 10:43, the constitution of the Asian Association of Law Professors was adopted unanimously. And that is when history was made. A new dawn, a huge step towards the realization of the Asian dream, if we may call so. It's a dream, as you often referred and mentioned, it's a dream come true. The dream of another great legend of law in the subcontinent in Asia, whom we have been referring to time and again, Professor Madhav Menon. As I stand here this morning at this ceremony, I cannot but refer to the great poet Rabindranath Tagore, who had written, "I had gone a begging from door to door in the village path, when thy golden chariot appeared in front of me, and I stood undecided. Who was this king of all the kings?" We know the answer this morning. We know that we are the kings in our own kingdoms. And this is a kingdom that we have initiated, and where you have only the kings, because again Tagore said, we are the kings in our kingdom, amra shobai raja, amader ei rajar rajotte. No discrimination, no deprivation, no exploitation. That is what is people's empowerment and people's power, the ultimate objective of the Asian Association of Law Professors. Beginning the journey towards justice education, towards legal education in a manner that the people feel empowered and they feel the strength of law in changing and molding their lives in the respective societies in Asia. Well, yesterday we had the presentations in the conference, and I remember the delegate from India, Sanjana, making a presentation on SARC mechanism, and how Sanjana referred to that SARC was destined to fail. Yes, it was destined to fail because it was caged in the dreams of the states and not the dreams of the people of South Asia. And therefore, I understand that if something happens which embodies the dreams of the people of South Asia or the dreams of the people of Asia as such, only then it can realize the dream and it can be a successful initiative. And I believe that the Asian Association of Law Professors is going to be such a platform where it will embody the dreams and aspirations of the people of Asia, the common people, and not of the politicians and the statesmen and the state crafting as they do in their days. Well, ladies and gentlemen, politicians say that garibi hatao, but poverty remains and sustains. Politicians say that we will build Sonar Bangla, but people continue to live in deprivations. Politicians say no to corruption, but corruption unfolds in gigantic magnitude. Politicians say man ki baat, but people's voice is never heard. But when the Asian Association of Law Teachers say that through rebellious lawyering we are going to declare that there shall be people's empowerment, then there is a smile, and there shall be a smile on everyone's face in Asia, especially in South Asia. That is the commitment that AALP has taken today, and we are confident that we will carry this message forward through our individual isolated initiatives in our respective law schools. Dear friends, I'll be speaking, I'm pretty sure, for all of you if I say that we have a dream that the thatched houses and huts in Nepal will be gone someday. We have a dream that the line of control will be replaced by a line of comfort. We have a dream. When we say that someday, in the near future, people all over Asia, especially in South Africa, in South Asia, will say that, my good God, thank you so much, because at long last, we are free. We are free at last. That is the kind of freedom that we are aspiring, and that is the kind of freedom that the Asian Association of Law Professors will lead us to. The journey has just started. And you have made history by associating yourself with this unique initiative, which we call the Asian Association of Law Professors. So let me once again thank you very much for being on board, for being one of us, for believing in a mission that we hold true for ourselves and for our countrymen and for people all over the globe. Once again, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to express my thoughts in front of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Each word you spoke held immense gravity and passion for the realization of our united dream. This is definitely when history is made. This is our strong step towards the realization of the Asian century. And we definitely are very proud to be a part of such an initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, now proceeding with our ceremony, please join me in inviting Honorable Yuvraj Dulal for his speech.
Subhash Chandra Nemang, who is coming here, Member of Parliament of Nepal, Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangrola, and dignitaries on and off the dais, guests from Nepal and other countries. I welcome you all to the land of Himalayas and this beautiful city, Dhulikhel, of our province number 3. It is a privilege to be invited at this closing ceremony of inaugural international conference by Asian Association of Law Professors. I am very happy to hear that over 100 delegates from 7 countries participate in the conference, in this conference, which is first of its kind in Nepal. There is a dire need for greater interaction and facilitation among people from Asia, and the Asian Association of Law Professors, AALP, bring together the deeper interaction and relation among not only law schools from South Asia, but aims to bring together institutions beyond Asia at a platform for significant development of legal scholarship and greater interaction of legal scholars. I have been told that session included important issues such as climate change and Belt and Road Initiative and its implementations. It is important that institutions and professors from Asia gather together for collaborating collectively and learning from each other with sense of independence. Therefore, I believe you all professors today brought together a dream of connectivity among law school and professors trio. This important gathering of institutions and individual members of AALP is an initiation of something very important in days to come, not only for yourself but for the society and Asia at large. The state government is going to, province government is going to establish a new university which will be a center of excellence. The state will welcome Kathmandu School of Law to be part of the new university. In future, the province government will be happy to support activities of this association. In the end, I would congratulate you all again for forming the Asian Association of Law Professors and the newly elected president and other officials, and I wish you all best for the future days to come. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, now proceeding with the award distribution, certificate distribution for our KD delegates, I would like to invite our honorable guest Yuvraj Dulal to present the certificate to our participants. And I'll be calling out the name of our participants for their certification. The list is in no particular order. Very long award distribution process, so I'm sure it was a little tiring. So again, once again, a big round of applause for our audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we have President Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangrola. We have Vice President Professor Conwal D.P. Singh. I would like to request our Vice President to come and have a seat on the dais. And our next Vice President is Professor Lu Zhenggrong. As Executive Advisor of AALP, we have Professor Dr. Mizanur Rahman. As our General Secretary, we have Dr. Upma Gautam. And for our executive members, we have Professor Farhana Hilal Mehtab, Professor Muhammad Amir Rana, Dr. Celine Yuan Wong, Mr. Muhammad Asaduzaman. I request all of you to please be seated on the stage. Professor Nguyen Tuan Thang, Professor Sanoj Rajan, and Assistant Professor Ravi Prakash Pyas. For our executive members from Southeast Asia, Central Asia and Asia Pacific are yet to be decided, and the executive body will be adding the members in the days to come. Mr. Gyanu Gautam, Purvanchal University. We have Manisha Paudel from Tribhuvan University. Ms. Lakshmi Sapkota from Purvanchal University. Ms. Samjana Puyal from Purvanchal University. Mr. Santosh Kesi from Kathmandu University. Mr. Susan Pant from Midwestern University. Ms. Lakshmi Bakhatia from Purvanchal University. Ms. Raksha Giri, Purvanchal University. And Ms. Swecha Sangrola, Purvanchal University. Now, as advisors for our national chapter, we have Professor Geeta Pathak Sangrola, Purvanchal University. We have Professor Kumar Ingnam from Purvanchal University and Professor Prakash Kesi, Purvanchal University. Ladies and gentlemen, I have missed out to distribute one award, that is the award for the most disciplined delegate. However, every initiation does come with a little bit of chaos and a little bit of excitement from everyone. So I hope all of you will understand and forgive us for any inconvenience caused. Now, without further ado, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Yuvraj Sangrola for his speech.
Minister of Social Development, province number 3, we still have not named the province, so still we say this is number 3 province. My very esteemed colleague, Professor Mizanur Rahman, my esteemed colleague in the Executive Council of Asian Association of Law Professor Kanwal, and Professor John Rong, and all my colleagues who are going to be in the same boat for 3 years. And also the members of the Nepal chapter who already formed, but maybe not all of them are not present right now. I would like to welcome, I would like to greet you, and I would like to appreciate for your kind efforts, for your kind activity for last 10 days for Kathmandu Dialogue participants and 3 days for member of Asian Association for Law Professors. I also shared with you day before yesterday, 3 years before, a small team of law professors from Asia met in Kathmandu and thought we need to depart from what we have been doing right now. We have been teaching law and the history of teaching law in Asia almost 150 years. But we are not teaching the law that we are supposed to teach. 150 years before, when we were still under colonialism, British colonialism in South Asia, French colonialism in Southeast Asia, and scattered like this and that. So we were teaching sometime in the name of civil law, we were teaching in the name of common law. And I used to ask a question when I was going to law school. My professor used to say that we belong to the common law system. And I used to always look into what is Nepalese law and what is common law. And I used to ask myself, why Nepalese law is not common law? Then, when I went to master degree, then I got to know that that common law was not my common law. It was British common law. This was law made for the British, but it was imposed. And it's 15 years that I've been doing what was the fundamental principle of law in our part. The fundamental principle of law in China, Southeast Asia, Japan, and South Asia. Let me take 1 minute for, again, example, because I love to talk. I love to refer to example. In Japan, 10 years before, a lady, neighbor to the house, brought a child to the neighbor and said that I'm going to market. Could you please keep my son for an hour, the time that I will be back from market? And Japanese also are very Asian in culture. They said that, okay, why not? So the child was taken by her, and child stayed inside the house. She had a daughter, a small daughter. These two child started playing and went inside the campus of the house, and then down there was a beautiful swimming pool, because this family was little richer than the family who had brought this child for take care for an hour. This child became excited, went to the swimming pool. The girl also encouraged, yes, we can swim. The child went inside the swimming pool. The girl, 3-4 years girl, could not understand what was going on inside. The child died in 15 minutes. When mother came, she asked for the son. Then they are playing outside. She went there, the child was drowned and dead in the swimming pool. So the case was brought to the court. The neighbor said that it is a breach of trust. I handed my son to be taken care by this family for 1 hour with her wish. So that was trust. But then she didn't do it. My child was drowned in the swimming pool. So I should get compensation. In dollar, it was 700,000 compensation she demanded in the court. Huge amount. And the court said that it's a breach of trust, because you were supposed to look after the child, because you consented to take care of the child. Then after the court said that yes, the judgment goes against her and she has to pay $700,000 as compensation, there were 90,000 emails to this lady. If you need compensation, we will raise the fund and we will pay you. But please withdraw this case. Because of one mistake, and not intentional mistake. It's a coincidence. She didn't understand or she didn't know that the child would go to the swimming pool and die. If you get this compensation from the family, no one will keep the baby in future from another house. So we will not want to destroy the civilizational value that we have. Please withdraw the case. We will give you the double compensation for you. So 90,000 email in couple of days. The woman went to the court and said that I did not understand that breach of trust didn't establish here. What established was the something like a child does not know how to swim, and I also did not feel at that time that there is a swimming pool. So this is a mistake. It's a terrible mistake I made. But there was no intention to have this child dead. And I cried as much as she cried, like a mother. So every woman in Asia has a mother's heart. So I am double victimized. My child died because my neighbor's child is also my child, so I am also victim. And I am also going to pay the money. So it's double victimization is not the punishment Asia looks for. Then she went to the court and said that I made a mistake. I want to withdraw the case. The case is taken. Professor Tojaba is a very famous professor in Japan. He came to Kathmandu School of Law for lecture. And then I asked, like, what is this? Then he said that we have an imposed law, American imposed law on us. So we have a code that is written by the Westerner. But we have a second law. What is that second law? Is like non-visible law. So we practice that law. Our culture is still intact. So therefore there are two types of laws. There is type of law what we see outside, and there is type of law which we don't see, but the Japanese people have bigger faith on that law. So this is how, not the problem only of Japan, it's a problem of China, continental legal system, India, common law system, Vietnam, civil law system, Indonesia, civil law system, Malaysia, common law system. There are many countries in Asia, but we don't have our own law. What do we have is civil law and common law. They are very good law, but not for us, for the Europeans. So it's not necessary that we bring this law to us. So that was the main content that we have to start seeing and doing investigation in part of the world, and we have to develop a very unique, pro-people, social justice-based law which promotes business, which promotes family relation, which promotes social values, and also protects morality. So this is a first step. This is a first step, and why? Why Nepal is so proud, and why Nepal is so much happy today to have this conference successful, and also to find the president chief of the Association for Nepal, because this is a country where Buddha was born. So we talk of peace. We talk of morality. We talk of ethics. Therefore, now the history is going to be rewritten. The history is going to be revisited. The history is going to the other direction. We start doing research. We take very good principles produced by the Western legal culture, the Western legal system, and the Western legal practices. But we also delve into and explore those very important principles that we have developed. So let me say only a few minutes, couple of very interesting things that I explored from my research. There is something called legal culture. If the legal system does not match with the legal culture, the system fails. Therefore, there should be a match between the legal culture and legal system. So Asian society have not a legal culture of litigation. Again, 1 minute, let me tell you a story, my own story this time. I work as a lawyer in Kathmandu metropolitan city. One day there was a very lively discussion in the board. Then one of the vice mayor was very unhappy and he was very angry with the people. What he says is like, wherever we say please do not urinate, people go and urinate there. We say please dispose your garbage here, they don't do it, they throw outside. And we say something don't do, they do. And then they want public toilets. So there are several public toilets constructed, but in all public toilets, what they do is like they put a stone so the water is not flushed. Everything is broken. And that's true of India and Bangladesh also. It was very striking for me why this happens. Then we took a study. There were 13,000 cases in metropolitan city just for the sake of construction of building. So there are 26,000 people involved if there is one. But then one is father-in-law, one is mother-in-law, this side, and there is one father-in-law and mother-in-law other side. So 4, it becomes 150,000 people. Then everybody has one good friend, like Upamaji is my good friend, so she favors me. If I have a case in the court, she also courts the court. Then we have another 26,000. So 23,000 people, 13,000 cases were affecting about 400,000 people. Believe there are 30 million cases pending in India. How many people are affected? 56,000 cases pending in Bangladesh. How many people are affected? 25,000 cases in Supreme Court of Nepal in pending. How many people are affected? So do they listen you? Should they think that this is a corrupt government? This is a corrupt society? Because it is making me to go to the court for 10 years, but the case is not disposed of. So it has become a paradise of judges. That's what the people think about. Because litigation is not our culture. Mediation, compromise, negotiation, settling disputes by bringing people to the platform, helping them, is our culture. So we have a litigation against the culture of, legal culture of mediation. But we are always trying to prepare lawyers, therefore Professor Madhav Menon. If Mizan understand, that's what he said in Dhaka when there was a very good conference. He said that, I established Bangalore Law School to help the Indian people. But I am very unfortunate. All of them are supporting and helping the corrupt capitalist. They are not taking cases of the poor people. So this is what is I call alternative lawyering, and Mizan says rebellious lawyering. The objective is the same. This is culture we're talking about. Then some country have very good concept of law, but very bad written law. Some country have very good written law, but not concept. Example is Nepal. Very good concept, but very badly written law, because our parliamentarians do not have time to discuss when law is made. When law is made bad, how court can give a good justice? India. Very good written law, written by the British and change. Lot of judgments made by the Supreme Court, but then the concept of very typical Bharatiya concept of law is already taken and destroyed by the British. So what we have is very good law written by British, the concept is destroyed. You may not probably agree with me, but this is a time to think about. Either I should be proved wrong or I should be proved right. So research is therefore important. So Association for Asian Association for Law Professor is not a political platform. It's a platform to enhance the culture of law, concept of law, new jurisprudence, supporting our society be more welfare-based, our society be people-based, people-oriented, and to build a trust of people over the judiciary. If I go to the judiciary, I will get a justice. I will not get an injustice. But now, what people in South Asia at least believe is that go to court means double victimization by the injustice. People don't believe that our court gives justice. So this is therefore going to be a movement. It's an association, but it's a campaign. It's an association, but it's a movement. So movement of making a new law to support our economic development, to support our financial economic growth, to support our agrarian reform, to support our urbanization process, to support all activities that law should work. So somebody this morning was saying, is it interdisciplinary? Yes, this is interdisciplinary. So we are not going to make our student parrots of some law books, but we are going to make our student to think and then find an answer from the society, from the context, and they would serve the society. So this is why I have agreed to become the president of this association this time. I am very, very happy that I have colleagues like Professor Kanwal. I have a colleague like Liu Junrong. I have very young and enthusiastic colleague like Wang. I have so nice and very active colleague like Saroj. All that, and most importantly, I have a very strong hand to work, Ravi Bass. He's a little bit angry today. We had a big fight before we came here. I said that we have an Asian value. In Asian value, elder people love the younger, and the younger people should listen the elder people first, and then make the suggestion. Should not stop in the mid and then make an opinion. So then he said that yes, I made a mistake. Then we had a very nice thing again. So this is what I would like to say. I would like to thank Honorable Minister. I have no hesitation to say. There are a lot of politicians. There are a lot of politicians in this country. But he is the one who is positive politicians. If we find politicians like him, South Asia and Asia will change quickly. He works all the time. He does not want his secretary to type. He knows it, how to type. He is more smart than me because I am little older than him. He can fix the mobile also. He knows how to type in English, Nepalese and all. So I had a chance to work with him. He was a convener of the task force the government constituted to make the new university, and I was a member. Very hectic time we discussed. And I was really impressed with him. The final document we were supposed to finalize, and we went to Hetauda. He stood so firm to support us. And he was from morning 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock evening together with us, sometime removing the typeface, saying that you are tired or you go and copy, I will now type. Then he sits and then he starts correcting. And then sometime he argues. Sometime he challenges us. We so-called experts. Then we made this task force report final, and at 5:30 we went to the chief minister and we submitted. If people work like that, most importantly, like he is always running in this place and that place, inspiring people. So if we have a minister like him, country will develop. So my support is with you always. I commit from this podium that I stand behind you for the change in the society. So therefore I have a belief that we will have a new university. And my colleague at the end, I would like to pass a message to you. We had a lot of discussion yesterday. My colleague from South Asia, Mizan and all, what they say is like, Yuvaraj, in Mizan's term, Jubaraj, Cannot we make it a South Asian law school? So Bangladeshi student will be able to come, Indian and all will come here, they read, they study their laws, go back to their country and practice. I said, I have a very positive minister, let's make this university, I think I will talk to him. And it's possible, Nepal is always welcoming. So we tried to make a South Asian law school in India. We 3 people, Madhav Menon, Mijan and I, we could not. Then we shifted to Bangladesh. Did very hard work. Eventually, we failed. And then I had to leave Bangladesh and come back again. So now this is Nepal's turn. One Yuvaraj is working for legal education, and another Yuvaraj is now minister who looks after the education. Hopefully, South Asia will get a chance to have such a legal education institution in South Asia where all people from South Asia can come and study their law and become a lawyer in their country. And then we will create a lot of ambassadors for Nepal to defend Nepal in Bangladesh, India, Pakistan. That's how a small country, Nepal, will go together like I'm a president and I have a vice president from China and I have a vice president from India. I will take these 2 people, I will go to any part of the world. Nepal is always high. So this is a coincidence anyway, but I think Pashupati Nath made it. So Madam said that is very true. Sure, that's how we are going. Thank you very much. I would like to thank you thank you for ministers to find out time to come here from Hetauda and then speak to us. Very nice word. The chief guest, Subhas Nemang, the former president of Constituent Assembly, 2 times law minister, and also the second leader of the parliamentary committee of the ruling party. But he could not come because there was an emergency meeting in the parliament today. So he sent, probably you read out the message he sent to you. I wanted you to see him. That was another fantastic man in this country. He was my teacher, then he became politician, then he became minister, then he became Constituent Assembly, and now he is also the patron of the Kathmandu School of Law. So we work together. He speaks in a way, his way of speaking is exactly like Sharojji did yesterday, Sharoj Vyas. He speaks in low tone, he speaks little in high tone, difference is that, but he is also poetic. Mesmerizes the people. But I'm sorry that I couldn't bring him, but sometimes this happens. I would like to thank you all these kids, Ravi Vyas and Mamata and Sachin and Aspandar and Krishna and Aditya, all from Nepal and other countries who had such a hard work. And this conference would not have been possible had not these people working in KD and working for this conference also. So it was probably beyond reasonable. Now I think how it is difficult to organize international program like this. So somebody should take this challenge for next time. I will be happy to come and sit and then enjoy it, but we are really tired. So I would like to thank them. I would like to thank all delegates from countries, from Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Bhutan, and then Vietnam, China, Nepal. If I forget to spell, it's already included, please. So I would like to congratulate you for being able to establish a new institution. I would like to congratulate my colleague for being elected in the Executive Council. And also, I would like to congratulate for those students who really were fantastic. And Asian culture is something who knows to appreciate. Every time Bhutanese student come, I wish that my student become like that. The culture, the discipline, the hard work they do. So I say that don't go to any country if you have to develop your country. So my suggestion to India and also China, please go and see in Bhutan how people are disciplined, how they sincerely work. If this kind of citizens are there in any country, that country survives. So South Asia largely is not developing because large part of our society is undisciplined also. So we have to learn from Bhutan. So thank you very much. Salute for your discipline and hard work. And finally, there are some people who always work inside. When we go to the seminar, and then there are people working like those who cook food, who print paper, who fix machine is not working. So that is Rubin Srestha inside. He does not show up. And then Rakshagiri, she is also here. And there are a couple of other volunteers like they have been standing behind. They also work hard. And then there is a lady who keeps running from here to there. This is Ojasvi Casey. And we have a saying that if you recall someone's name and she appears, then she live long. So probably she will live long. And then there is this lady who is messenger. She is a telephone. She, and they think that I forget, but I don't forget. They always feed me that, oh, this man is getting old, so he doesn't know. Sometimes she tells me in hours, and sometimes bring this. Then there is one man. Let me ask you, who probably is that? Delegates? Ravi is already included, he is there. Raksha, I told the name. No, the man who picks you at the airport. Yes, you forget, because who worked for you, you forget that. Can you imagine picking people at the airport at the midnight and bringing people here and go back again, another group? Over the last 10 days, this man is airport to Dhulikhel, airport to Dhulikhel. Nobody asks this man whether he is having a food or not. Everybody calls that, oh, it's late, there are delegates, then he runs. But we know how to appreciate. So that's Rajendra. So this is how lot of these efforts. Finally, then there is one more. This is modern time Bhimsen. Standing behind. Krishna Pandey. She is again reminding me. And that there is one lady who works in college, who directs this institute, Amrita Shinoy. She is not right now. So this is the report. Ultimately, entire Kathmandu School of Law, I would like to thank you. And then finally, Prem Srestha, who actually helped us to do all this kind of thing. And he is going to give you a very nice time after this to have a cultural program right after this at 3 o'clock after food. So finally, we have come to the end here. I would like to thank you all again. After 3 years when we meet, we have some concrete achievement already made, and we will not talk what we will do, but we will talk. These are the achievement we already did. So Asia has now moved in law. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Revolutionary ideas, the strong and enthusiastic team of AALP will lead to a successful term of AALP. Ladies and gentlemen, once again a big round of applause for our new executive team of AALP. Now we've come almost to the end of our program. Before we end, I would like to introduce the Alumni Association and Ambassadors of the Kathmandu Dialogue 2019-2020. I request all of you, those who, the names that I spell out, to stand up in their respective seats and introduce yourself. We have President Sachin Sivakoti of the KD Alumni Association 2019-2020. As Vice President As our treasurer, we have Mr. Vishnu Bikram Karki. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to I request all of you to come to the stage. Mr. Jagannath from India, Mr. Leki from Bhutan, and Mr. Tanjimul from Bangladesh. And for our ambassadors of KD, to Bangladesh, we have Ms. Ziba. Ambassador to China, we have Jiang, who's already here. Ambassador of KD to India, we have Ansh and Krishna. From Nepal, we have Virat. From Pakistan, we have Zain. From Uganda, we have Raymond. However, he is not